We all know that the Earth is full of water, but there's a lot more water than all that blue stuff we see on the globe.
Hi, I'm Tristan Miro, first year civil engineering student of Eastern Visayas State University, Section B, and this is Lecture 25 of this Geology Lecture Series, which is all about groundwater preliminaries.
The objective of this lecture is for us to describe what is groundwater, describe the water cycle, list the sources of groundwater, and define important terms used in hydrogeology. As I said a while ago, the Earth is full of water, but there's a lot more to water than the seas, lakes, ponds, and rivers that we commonly see. The water that we can see on the surface of the Earth is called the surface water, while the water at the ground below your feet is called the groundwater. Groundwater is water that's crammed in the tiny gaps between rocks, soils, and sediments under the ground. It fills the pores and fractures in underground materials such as sand, gravel, and other rock, much the same way that water fills a sponge. A full body of groundwater is called an aquifer. An aquifer is an underground layer of water-bearing permeable rock, rock fractures, or unconsolidated materials, gravel, sand, or silt. Now, there are two types of aquifers, the confined and unconfined aquifers. Unconfined aquifers are those into which water seeps from the ground surface directly above the aquifer, while the confined aquifers are those in which an impermeable dirt or rock layer exists that prevents water from seeping into the aquifer from the ground surface located directly above. Then next is the water table. The water table is an underground boundary between the soil surface and the area where groundwater saturates spaces between sediments and rocks. A seep, spring, and stream are groundwater that reaches the ground surface from an underground aquifer. So how does all this water end up in the ground? So mainly there are three main sources of groundwater: the meteoric, pollinate, and juvenile water. The first and most common is the meteoric water, which is a byproduct of the water cycle. It originates in the atmosphere by evaporation, which falls as rain and ultimately becomes groundwater by the process of infiltration. Second is the connate water, that is also known as fossil water, which refers to the liquids trapped within sedimentary rocks. And lastly is the juvenile water. It's also known as magmatic water. With the cooling of the magma, its gaseous contents and water vapors separate from it.
So that concludes the Lecture 25 about groundwater preliminaries. Thanks for watching and I hope you've learned something in this video. Thank you.